You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your early edition spoilers for January 13th through the 17th. Nick comes completely unglued, and Michael digs up shocking information. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not subscribed, please click that button. And as we always do on Early Edition Day, we start with what is coming the rest of this week to set the stage for the spoilers for next week. So on Wednesday, January 8th, we've got Lily and Devon and Abby out together, and they are talking about Nate bringing his half-brother Damian back to Genoa City. That's the plan. That's what he hopes is going to happen. And Lily is shocked to find out from Devon that Nate is offering him a job at Winters as part of the excuse to sit down and talk with him. And Devon explains to the ladies that it's just to set up the introduction, but Abby and Lily think starting out with dishonesty is a bad idea. But it looks like the job offer possibly could be legit. You know, Devon doesn't seem closed off to it. He's taking a wait and see attitude. So it looks like he greenlit Nate making this offer, and then they would play it by ear. So Devon also tells Abby that Nate had a rough time growing up, and, you know, that he just really wants this brother in his life, and he's hoping it's all going to go well. Out in Los Angeles, Nate and Audra talk about the message he sent for Damian. And they are worried about Amy, worried she'll be disappointed, worried he might reject her. They both really like Amy. She's grown on them. And then Damian texts that he is on the way. Amy shows up, excited to hear it. She is just a bundle of nerves. So Audra takes her to go shopping while Nate waits for Damian so that they're not around and not on eggshells. Damian immediately doubts this job offer, and he asks, what is this really? He's nobody's fool. There's still something weird going on with his job history, that all the jobs are tied to one place and all his housing is tied to another. So there's something strange afoot. Meanwhile, Billy runs into Chelsea at Crimson Lights, and he's making some nice small talk, talking about the kids. And he said he wants to get in a place where, you know, running into each other, which is inevitable, is less awkward. And then Billy tells her that he is working on getting Chancellor back. And Chelsea is just shocked. She tells him he needs to move on, let it go. Then he's shocked when she says she is Team Jill on this, and he needs to see it from his mom's perspective, that she didn't feel like she had a choice. So Billy's done with his mom. Chelsea's frustrated about it. Billy's frustrated about her attitude. This is not going very well. Lily shows up as Chelsea goes, and Billy invites her to join his Chancellor revenge plot. But that's a hard pass for Lily. She's moved on. She's happy at Winters, and she tells him, go back to Jabot. Then on Thursday, January 9th, Michael is tasked with digging up the truth about Ian Ward. Victor, of course, makes this assignment. He wants to know what Ian is really up to. How did someone that bad get out early on good behavior? What's up with this whole chaplain nonsense? Why is Ian back? And why Sharon is missing? He wants Michael to put together the puzzle of how this has all happened. Damian is not going to take it too well that Nate has lured him to meet him on false pretenses. And the question is whether he can convince Damian to hear him out and forgive the subterfuge, because he really, really wants to get to know his brother. And Amy is going to be surprised with news from Nate, so I wonder if Damian agrees to see her. Meanwhile, Nick cannot wait any longer for the GCPD to solve Sharon's missing persons case. He doesn't want to waste time waiting for Victor's security either, so Nick looks like he is going to head out and start a search. And I'm wondering at what point he hears some whispers that people are suspecting it's Phyllis. Friday, January 10th, Jack is pressuring Kyle to come clean. But on what topic? Is it a work matter? Is it about Diane or Claire? It just seems very strange because that I know of, Kyle's not been keeping any secrets, but you never know. Jordan is going to go rogue again by the end of this week. She already broke Ian's directive to throw Sharon off the bridge in her car to a watery grave and kill her. So next, it looks like Ian gives the command about Phyllis's fate now that she is starting to gain whispers as the top suspect in Sharon's disappearance. But once again, Jordan isn't going to do what Ian asks because he still hasn't gone after Claire like he told her he would. So the plan, of course, is Phyllis is supposed to be the fall guy for Sharon's death. And if both of them are dead, then Heather's murder should remain pinned on Sharon and then hers on Phyllis. That way, Ian's hands are clean. They're both dead and gone, loose ends tied up. They might even assume Phyllis was messing with her meds because they have such a bad history. I think they might close the case because, there's not a need to exonerate someone who's dead. So Ian is thinking ahead. Meanwhile, Claire is with Grandma Nikki over at Chancellor, and she's very upset that Ian is in Genoa City, and just, Nikki's thinking back to all the bad things he did to her. These are all back to haunt her again. And then Claire is there, and she's very worried. Nikki worries that Ian could be a threat to Claire simply because she is a Newman who is close to Nikki. And of course, if she had any idea about the Jordan thing, she would be extremely terrified. January 13th through the 17th, Damian is considering whether to come to Genoa City to get to know his half-brother Nate and reacquaint himself with his mom Amy, who is dying, or will he be angry because Nate tricked him to meet him and then Amy has told this huge paternity lie. Cameron may actually be back soon, possibly this week, possibly the week of the 13th. Sharon has been off her meds since New Year's Day, so she might have some hallucinating, company in the sewer. He popped up in the credits again. That's why I suspect he might be back. And then she may get some real company because that may be where Jordan stashes Phyllis in defiance of Ian's orders. Phyllis, of course, hasn't bought into any of the assertions from Sharon that there was another person in the apartment with her and Heather, even though Phyllis has to admit, yes, Sharon is not the one that ran her off the road. And Phyllis is about to get a very scary reality check. The latest Y&R spoilers promise Sharon and Phyllis are together in really dire circumstances. And if they cannot set aside their dislike of each other and work together, those two might be the last person the other one sees, aside from Jordan, the woman that may yet kill them. Michael digs into Ian's parole and confirms the chaplain angle, but he may discover that Ian was counseling prisoners at the facility where Jordan was housed because they know where she was sent. So that may ring an alarm bell, and that could lead Michael to the startling news that Jordan is dead. And if he turns back around and reports to Victor that she's dead, I imagine if he hasn't already done it, he'll send Michael back for absolute 100% confirmation that that terrible woman is indeed pushing up daisies, and that could expose the prisoner swap scheme. Ian is set to be exposed, and he's on a collision course to clash with the Newmans in a bitter battle that could see someone seriously harmed, maybe multiple someones.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.